We've obviously talked this week about Aaron Reutzel's injury from the High Limit show back over the weekend. He appeared to take a rock or a dirt clod to the face, and he suffered a broken nose. Reutzel was one of a handful of drivers who were not running a rock screen at Las Vegas, and looking back through a bunch of old photos, it doesn't appear as though he's ever run one. Since his injury, as you could have probably guessed, the rock screen conversation has popped up online, and I've seen a bunch of folks weigh in. That includes Mike Linder, Landon Crawley, Brad Doty, Shane Stewart, Thomas Kennedy, Brian Smith, among others, have had comments about it. What's interesting to note about this specific situation is the car ran without one with Reutzel, but when Sanders got in it to fill in during the feature, it had one. If you look at the screen right now, this is Reutzel's car being towed off during the dash after he got out of it, where the red arrows pointed. Very clearly no rock screen. And then this is from a video from Cali Dirt Videos that was posted on Facebook. Very clearly a rock screen in place there. So Sanders does run one regularly on his cars, and clearly they were able to get one on the RSR machine kind of quickly between the dash and the main event. And I'm assuming Sanders either requested that or brought one over from his own car just to rectify that situation. I heard as well there were other drivers who were hit with things, including Brian Brown. He posted to social that he had a rock knock his tear-offs completely off during the feature, and eventually he had to pull in because he couldn't see anymore. And there were images floating around of his car without a screen, and even Ricky Stenhouse Jr. replied to him telling him to run one, but he did have one on his car during that main event. You can pretty clearly see it in some other photos and some other video. Cali Dirt Videos also posted a reel yesterday that shows a rock hitting the screen of another car. It looks like it's actually maybe Corey Day. He didn't say in the reel who the driver was, but the driver's wearing blue K1 gloves that match another short video he posted of Day. And then when Day climbs out of the Myers 14 in Victory Lane on Saturday night, it sure looks on Flow Racing like that screen is wonky. In case you were curious, neither series, the Outlaws or High Limit, mandate any sort of protection in that area of the car. And in the past, when supposedly there were rules in place, teams did things to skirt those rules. My friend Paul Large, who's a great photographer, sent me a photo of Steve Kinser's car from the Williams Grove National Open in 1992. I'm showing that photo on the screen now. Apparently at that point, there was some sort of rock screen rule in place, and Kinser's team did have one on the car, but they just cut all of the middle bars out of it. That way they were still sort of classified as having one, but it did not impede Kinser's vision. And when we talk about rock screens and guys not running them, that's always the reason we hear why they don't. They say they can't see. I'll leave it up to you to decide if that's true or not true, whatever. I think the Kinser situation, though, it's a perfect example of drivers getting in their own way when it comes to safety and needing to be saved from themselves with some of these rules. Rock screens, they're not going to protect drivers from everything, as Brian Brown's night clearly illustrates, but they're better than having nothing at all.